What is good? Here's my question. What is really going on? I can't really understand this political climate we're in. I can't really understand support for Donald Trump and his idiotic policies. I can't understand. Somebody please help me because it seems like we're headed down this crazy road to damnation and people are just willingly following this idiot down the road. It's crazy. I'm almost sick of talking about it. But last night the address to Congress was hilarious. It was hilarious, but it was scary. And let me tell you why I think that. Because people so blindly follow someone like Donald Trump, who has never in his life done anything useful for the American community. When we were growing up in the New York, New Jersey area, we knew this clown was a con artist. He was always yapping about his next big deal, this, that, or the other, and these beautiful properties he was interested in. And it always turned out to be a scam or a nightmare, especially for people that looked like me who didn't have the opportunities uh, that someone like he's had. Now, my disdain for Donald Trump goes way deeper than the theatrics and the bullshit that he's been putting out in recent years. This goes way back to like the 70s when my dad was a plumbing and heating contractor and witnessed firsthand the bullshit that the Trump organization does. And I'm not going to get into detail about that because it was so many years ago. But I'm just trying to give you a, a, a foundation for why I dislike Donald Trump so much. He's an idiot. He's a moron. He's not a great businessman. He's bankrupted 16 companies. He damn near destroyed Atlantic City, New Jersey. Damn near wiped it out. Ran a casino into a ground. Who does that? A casino is like the ultimate ATM. He ran a casino into the ground. That's neither here nor there. The problem we have now is the fact that an idiot like this, a convicted felon, is now the president of the United States again. Again. And don't get it twisted, everybody. He has no mandate. He has no mandate. Literally, only 1/3 of the voting population is what it took to elect him. Another 1/3 of the voting population stayed at home or voted for someone else. And this is how Donald Trump got elected. Understand that. He did not win a majority of the American people, not even close. And what's happening now is that you got people like me, and I don't mean black folks or white folks. I just mean people in my tax bracket, average people who are believing that the fake billionaire is giving a damn about their well-being. Donald Trump has never in his life lived in the world that we live in. Donald Trump has never been inside a grocery store unless he was on a campaign stop. He's never had to pay a fucking bill because he's notorious for not paying his fucking bills. He's notorious for not paying his bills. I'll say that one more time. Donald Trump is notorious for not paying his bills. Okay? He has never had to walk down the streets that we walk down on a daily basis. He's never had to punch a clock. He inherited his money from his daddy, who himself was a con artist. And let's take it all the way back to the history of his family. You know, his family was originally from Germany. And the reason and his grandfather left Germany because he was a draft dodger. Do you understand that? He was a draft dodger. And then when they tried to return to Germany, Germany said, hell no, you cannot come back here. They didn't want the Trumps back. Fast forward to Donald, who kept his grandfather's spirit alive and became a draft dodging coward himself. Captain Bone Spurs. We're talking about a family, not just the man, we're talking about an entire bloodline of cowards who run out on their countries when they were asked to serve. This is why I can't understand any veteran that doesn't support that does support Donald Trump. How could you be a veteran of these United States supporting a draft dodging coward and a 34-time convicted felon? See, we always, it's like they stopped talking about any of that, but we need to keep that in the forefront. We need to keep that out front and let people know they're supporting somebody who has never, ever, served this country that we all claim to love so much. And granted, I'm not saying that anybody is required to go into the military, but at the time when Donald Trump avoided service, we were at war and he was called. We had an active draft going on. And regardless of whether you agreed with the Vietnam War or not, the fact still remains that Donald Trump lied and he scammed his way out of serving. Would have been different if he had a legitimate reason for not answering the draft, but he had no legitimate reason. Even if he would have said back then he was a conscientious objector, that would have been better than lying about a health problem that he did not have. And how do we know he did not have that? Because he was in college and he was a college athlete. He was apparently a star baseball player. So how is he running around the baseball field with bone spurs? Bone spurs that were so debilitating that he couldn't go serve his country when asked to serve. This is a man who denigrated our veterans, called us suckers and losers. Now, I say us because I am a veteran. You're welcome. This is a man who denigrated former Senator John McCain. John McCain, although I didn't support his political party, John McCain was one of our nation's heroes. This man was a prisoner of war in Vietnam for 5 years. This is a man who refused to allow himself to be released until all of his comrades were released. And Donald Trump denigrated this man and still talks shit about this man after his death. So this is who some of my veteran brothers out there choose to follow. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm so disappointed. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not laying all the blame on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is actually just a symptom of the problem. Our entire government has been screwed up for many decades. That's a fact. That's a fact. Democrat, Republicans, independents, they're all politicians. And in some funky way, every last one of them figures out a way to screw it up for this country. But we're the biggest losers because we keep electing these assholes. And let me correct myself. All of them aren't a problem. There are a few politicians out there that are really trying to do the right thing, but they come up against the brick wall of idiocracy. And right now, we're headed down a long, dark road. When I was on active duty in the 80s, Vladimir Putin was a problem back then. He was the head of the KGB at one time. He was a senior KGB officer when I was on active duty. They were sworn to end Western culture. Do you think that ideology has gone away? Vladimir Putin wants to do us in, people, and Donald Trump is helping him. Nobody even speaks about the fact that Donald Trump has been married to two Eastern Bloc women. Ivana, I believe her country was Czechoslovakia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Look it up, y'all. And his current wife, our current First Lady, what's her name? Melania. I believe her former country was Yugoslavia, which became something else after this fall of the Soviet Union. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but both of these women were from Eastern Bloc countries, communist Russia or Soviet countries. You think Trump doesn't have ties with Russia? Do you really believe that? Russia, Russia, Russia. It wasn't a hoax. We know it wasn't a hoax. He wasn't exonerated. All lies. But you people still choose to follow a pathological liar, 34-time convicted felon, draft dodging coward. And nobody in his bloodline has ever served this country. Nobody. But yet, you gave him the most powerful seat in the world, arguably, because we may not be in the next few months. You really don't understand how serious it is that Trump is not supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russia. Because if Ukraine falls, Vladimir Putin will be thoroughly convinced that the United States will do nothing to support the rest of Europe. And if he decides to attack a NATO country, I personally don't believe that Donald Trump will do anything to stop it. Of course, we want peace. Who do you think has kept the peace in Europe since the end of World War II? NATO. Because way back then, Russia had dreams of grandeur, of restoring the Russian Empire. And then the Soviet Union came about. And then the Soviets went through their war in Afghanistan, got their asses kicked, mind you. But that didn't stop them from dreaming of world dominance. And we've done a lot of dirt too around the world. The United States is not innocent in all of this. The United States has done a lot of wrong as well. However, because of the United States, these dictators haven't run amok throughout the world. Yeah, there's Kim Jong Un. You know, the Korean War was an extremely bloody battle. Um, and China, communist China hasn't actually ever been in a war at all. Uh, I mean, they helped out in Vietnam. Yes, they did. Um, but since then, the Chinese haven't been in any major conflicts. Their biggest thing is stealing everybody's technology while they build up their military. You know why? Because they play the long game. They play the very long game. They know that one day they might be able to take us without firing a shot because we got guys like Donald Trump right now that's ready to give away everything. And mind you, this whole global system of things is very complex. It is. And don't sit there and accuse me of being somebody that has all the answers because I do not have all the answers. But one thing I can tell you, I've traveled all around the world. I've been to a lot of different countries, some good, some not so good. And there are certain countries I've been to where they need what they got. Some countries need a dictator. Some countries need a knucklehead because a lot of the people that they're serving over are savages themselves. And it's a shame, but it's true. There are a lot of places on this planet that are horrible because humans are horrible. We are. Look at everything wrong in the world today, and they have one common denominator: us. Let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. And I'm not saying that we have the best system of living, but from what I saw personally, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But I'm having second thoughts about that now. I'm hoping I'm hoping that this experiment in democracy will win over tyranny. But it's going to take all of us coming together, all of us. Because trust me, people, it's not a black and white thing. It never has been. It's not a racial thing. It never has been. That was created by the ones who are in power. It's always been a haves and have nots. It's always been the so called elites and the commoners. And right now, this country is being led into the ditch by those so called elites because they're afraid. They're running around with the woke is dead and woke, we're running woke. America is woke no more. Do you even understand what woke means? A lot of white folks have no clue what woke means. All woke means is aware, be aware, pay attention. That's what woke means. I don't know how y'all let these politicians take it and twist it into something that it is not. It's not a movement. It's not a political uprising. It's a simple suggestion to be aware of what's going on around you. Pay attention. This is why they don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to pay attention to what's really going on. They don't want you to pay attention to what's really going on. People like Elon Musk couldn't exist without us. People like Donald Trump couldn't exist without us. They are billionaires because of us. The consumers, the people who buy their products. Some of the products are very good. Some of the products are very useful. Most of the products are garbage. They feed us poison, okay? They stimulate our greed and envy by selling us gadgets that uh, make us feel like we're better than the next person. Everybody is out here to get the next greatest iPhone or the next Samsung device or the nicest car, the Rolls Royce, the Maybachs, and it's bullshit. They keep us fighting amongst ourselves down here at the common level so that we don't pay attention to the bullshit that they're doing, so that they can stay in control. You need to think, people. Knock off the bullshit. We need to stop fighting amongst ourselves. Quit your game. Red and blue, Republicans, Democrats, Bloods, Crips. It's all bullshit to keep us divided. The Constitution says we, the people, not we, the Republicans, not we, the Democrats, not we, the white folks, not we, the black folks. It says we, the people. So I say this in closing. Wake up and stay woke. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. I'm out. Join me on YouTube at Crazy Baby TV World, because I got a lot more to talk about. I'm not trying to sell you shit either. I got no merchandise. You don't have to subscribe to any newsletters. Please subscribe to the channel and follow me, just in case. You never know. I might say something in the future that really might be useful to you. But until next time, thank you all for watching. Sunday night, 9 p.m., The Ken Jackson Experience. YouTube, Crazy Baby TV World. I'm out. Peace.